Okay, but anyway, first thing is the 60 centimeter high forms, make them so that they're ready to be screwed in. Then we have to think about the separator holes. We just think about it, make sure that they're correct. Then we screw them down, screw the forms down, and probably put the separators in place. So they'll be sticking out here into the air.
Yeah, before better make a hole. Before
Yeah, put holes in the plywood. Yes, right. So make the forms, think about the holes, put the holes in place, screw down the forms, put the separators and form ties in place, and then start filling the dirt in. Okay, back on another hot, sunny, it's, what is it today? Sunday. Aimi's off in Tokyo on some business, so I'm up here making forms again. Okay, if you're just popping in, we're in the middle of building our foundation, which will be the base for a future timber frame house, which we will start as soon as this last fourth pour of concrete is over. And the last pour is a slab that's going to go, this will be the bottom of the slab at this level right here, and it will go up 40 centimeters. And so the top of the slab and the beginning of the floor of the first floor of the house will be about here. So today is all about cutting forms. The goal for our forms is to create a whole run of them, all equally 60 centimeters high. 60 centimeters, that's correct, yeah. And they're going to sit along this footer. Okay, they're going to kind of sit like this. I think I've just had a small stroke of good luck. Regular viewers will know that I've been working on this for a long time, 4 years now. And the first 3 years were really muddled by working with a bad architect and not getting my approvals. Finally, 1 year ago, we got approvals. And I've been working since then for the past 1 year quite productively, I think. In the past, I thought I was going to be moving forward much quicker, and so I bought a lot of supplies. One thing I bought was this truckload of forms, and they've been sitting for 3 years. I've mentioned before that the weather in Shimoda is really hard on wood, and so these things are getting to the point where they're just scrap now and time to burn them. Well, it just so happens I'm going to be burying these back forms under the slab. So they're garbage. So these ones here I just found are actually 70 centimeters wide. So I just got to run them all through the table saw, knock them down to 60, and I've got ready-made forms. I don't have to muck around too much. This is a win. Okay, they're all screwed in. These are the inside forms. They're screwed into the footer now. They're never coming out. So these form ties are sacrificial. I'm never getting them back. We're not going to take them off. They're going to stay buried. But they are going to help to hold the outer form when we put it in. and thus hold the concrete when we pour the slab and the lip. We got some guys doing something down at the bottom of the hill, pulling something from down further below the hill. じゃあ3人でやりましょうか。上から行きましょうか。B。
せーの。せーの。せーの。せーの。せーの。あ、どうも。
これ全然全部ダニですか？ダニだろうね。Yes, that was rather interesting. A couple of guys hunting deer with no guns. I think they must have leg trapped him down below, and then I don't know how they got an alert or something. They said they caught him just this morning and put a knife in his jugular just an hour ago or less. So yeah, hunters. I'm not a hunter myself. I just don't have the stomach for it. But I love game, and I have no inhibitions about the hunting process as long as it's for meat. I don't particularly support it as a sport, but for meat, that's fine. My brother's a big hunter. Multi times a year he's on trips to fill his freezer. But here in Japan, of course, the gun laws are so strict. Almost nobody has guns. To get a gun is like 3 years to get your license. Some farmers have gun licenses from way back. They've got grandfathered in licenses from generations ago, and so they use them. But many people don't, and they tend to trap deer and boar. And sometimes it's a big cage with food in it. The animal walks into it, and then when the hunter comes back and finds the animal inside, they dispatch the animal. And that may be what they did down here. I don't know how they would have got a cage that big down that steep slope. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a big fan of leg traps either. But for however they did it, they dispatched it about less than an hour ago. And they said they're going to bring me a bundle of deer meat in the next 2 hours, they said. So yeah, score. We're going to fill this whole area up to the top with soil and gravel. And the goal is for these kickers and stakes to hold those forms steady while we do that. And of course we're going to bury them too. So next steps now are backfill. And I'll probably have to make a couple of trips to the gravel yard. Well, look at this. That's like about 5 pounds of meat. He said he got 2, not just 1. So there's a lot of meat here. 5 pounds or 10 pounds maybe. I'll weigh it when I get home. But I'm going to be on email tonight, checking with my hunter brother and finding out what to do. In Japan, they tend to not age their wild meat. With boars, I kind of understand it. I don't think you're supposed to age, or I don't think you can age it. But for deer, I remember when I was a kid in Canada, my dad and my uncles, whenever they came back with deer, it would be hanging in the garage for like 5 days, right? So aging. This is like less than 4 hours old, so I really don't know how to prepare it and don't know what to do with it. So I'll be talking to my brother tonight. so we're getting our hardware sorted. Main reason is it's lying all over the place. Second reason is I've got a whole bunch sitting right down there, right kind of beside the mini dump. And I'm about to empty the mini dump. I've got to get the excavator up here. I've also got to get 2 bags of gravel from the dump truck down on the road. So a lot of stuff happening, and it's all going to happen ultimately right in that corner. So I want to get the hardware out of the way. Well, I think I got a little bit done at the front of the house. I get quite a thrill out of that. I'm starting to say the front of the house. After 4 years, it's starting to feel like there might be a house here soon. I've got to leave a bank here right up against the footer, of course, with stability. We want to keep it as undisturbed as possible for about 4 feet out. I've got a bunch of this dirt now that I put in there. I'm going to rake it all smooth and give it one more tamp before I shut her down for the day. But yeah, this is definitely progress. So my construction consultant is earning his keep. He came by yesterday and he said, "What are you doing wasting all those form ties? Just buy a bag of bolts and washers and, you know, waste those." Okay, I think I've shored up all of the bracing. It's, I think, as firm as I can get it. I'm gonna try to be as gentle as possible as I put the gravel in. And you know, over here, of course, is the volume, the biggest volume. I'm not gonna tamp near the edges. I'm gonna tamp kind of just here in the middle. But yeah, next step is getting the 2 bags of gravel up and over and in. Okay, I didn't bring a lot of gravel, but luckily I still got a lot of earth on the other side, so we're kind of mixing it all together. there's a weed for you. Look at that. There's... That's pretty good. It doesn't actually look like they've pushed out at all. Oh, well, you know, that would be a blessing. Okay, we're getting there. It's tamped to a good height right here where I'm standing. The edges are still quite loose, and over there is still empty, so that's my focus. Let's just motor on. So approaching the house from the front now, you can see how this is all taking shape. We've got the, you know, the front, the mezzanine, let's call it, of the house, and down here, this is all going to be under a deck. And the deck will, I think the height of the slab will be about, still pretty high, but the deck will be up about here. So probably we've got a good 8 feet of clearance under the deck. We're going to store a water tank under here, probably going to store firewood as well, and who knows what else, a jungle gym, a swing. But also you can see here how the front form will take shape. So sitting on top of the footer is this vertical extruding rebar, and then we're going to, you know, have the earth come up to here, the fill come up to here, and then we're going to have 2 layers of rebar come from that far wall over and waterfall down. This little plate compactor, I tell you, it's worth its weight in gold. All $80 I think I paid for it on auction. Okay, it's pretty much quitting time for today. I'm gonna have to stop at the gravel yard on the way in tomorrow and pick up another truckload. I'll probably go back at noon, pick up another truckload. That'll be 4 bags. Each truckload is 2 bags, so 4 bags. I wonder, I may need 6. Yeah, let's plan on 3 trips to the gravel yard tomorrow. We got the blade. We got the swivel. We got the boom. We got the arm. We got the bucket. And that's it. It's off to the gravel yard for dump truck load number 2. Let me tell you about the weather we're having. So it's the beginning of June, and for the next 5 days it's going to be like 22 degrees, sunny, no precipitation whatsoever. And the irony is June is the beginning of rainy season in Japan. Now May, I saw a report for May that said something like there were 22 or 25 days with rain. So it was a wet May. And now we're getting this beautiful, balmy, not humid June. But rainy season will come. So, you know, I've got about 5 days here to enjoy the weather. And we're gonna do just that. We're gonna try and pour our final pour on the 20th of June. So try and get it done before the hot, humid July summer season starts. Okay, that's the weather update for today. Now, back to driving. This base that we've created today will be the base for the first floor slab. So, everything held so far. I'm surprised, a little bit optimistic, I hope. Fingers crossed, knock wood. Don't walk under a ladder, all of that. But we are ready for rebar now, I think. I've got a few things to do before rebar. I've just got to fill in this area. I've got to clean out all of this crap now. Everything's got to go. Luckily, I have storage for it over there. So next video is we're cleaning out all this crap. We'll have a whole bunch of rebar inventory by that time, and we'll be twisting and a tying, cutting and a bending. Thanks for hanging around. I'll leave you with the soothing sounds of my plate compactor.